Depending on who you ask, they'll tell you I'm a legend. From YO to the Veil to the Mongo spot on Creston. Always been 1,000, never ever been a lame. Lay a nigga down for these 3 letters on my chain.
Yo, what's shaking, what's happening, what's popping, man? This is your boy J Hood, and you are now tuned into a brand new episode of the Tales from the Hood vlog series. You know how I give it up, man. I need everybody to stream or download my brand new project entitled S.E.L.F. And while you at it, go grab the Pesci trilogy as well. Pesci Part 1, 2, and 3. Available right now on all digital streaming platforms. Alright, so look. Today's episode, we're going to speak about something that I've pretty much been putting off for like a long time. And I decided just not to speak on for some time. And that reason is because I'm not like really one of those people that be feeding into bullshit. And I try not to like breathe life into the shit that I feel doesn't make sense. So I never really spoke on this shit. And what I'm going to speak about is the rumors that started coming out when I left DBlock, and also the diss videos that I distributed through online and all that type of shit. So first we're gonna get into some of the rumors that started floating around and shit during that time period, right? Okay, so first and foremost, let's get this straight. I just want to put this out there. When I started hearing a lot of this shit, like, truthfully, I laughed at it, like, a lot of this shit, you know what I mean? Because first of all, I didn't even start hearing any rumors until I left DBlock. I didn't hear any of this type of shit until I decided to leave. You feel me? Like, I heard things like, yo, he got kicked out, like, they dropped him, all type of shit. I'm like, yo, these rumors have to come from people that lack intelligence, because I literally released a statement online explaining to people that I was going to be leaving this company to start my own company. Before I even left, I released a statement. People thought I had a publicist put it out, but I put it out myself. I sent it to all the major blog sites and hip-hop sites and all that, and they put it online. So I'm like, I put out a goddamn statement explaining to people what was going on, and they just decided to ignore that and come up with their own narratives and shit, because they just can't believe that someone would leave these guys or leave a situation like that. So that was kind of like mind-boggling to me when I was hearing those type of rumors. I'm like, this is crazy, man. So that was like the first one, right? But I never really spoke on that because it made no sense to me, because as I just said, like, I put out a statement. So I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Now, after that, I started hearing even more incredible rumors, like, yo, I heard he got beat up, jumped and robbed, stripped naked in the Bronx and all this other type of shit. Now, that particular rumor, that shit really made me laugh, right? Because I'm like, yo, dude, okay, so we're living in the age of technology, right? Like, meaning anytime something like that transpires, it's always someone with a smartphone or a video camera that's sitting there waiting to tape shit like that, right? Now, if something like that, come on, let's use our common sense here. If something like that was to take place, don't you think somebody would have taped that and had footage of that just to keep in the tuck, just to be able to show someone? Because that would have definitely went viral. You know what I'm saying? When you make those type of claims, you're gonna want to have footage to back that up. So people was actually speaking on this rumor and putting this rumor out there publicly without no type of evidence to support this shit. I'm like, damn, when the hell we start doing that? Like, we just going off of fake word of mouth, just trying to bash a motherfucker without no proof, no evidence, and nothing. That's when I like really knew it. I'm like, yeah, people really dislike me out here because of a choice that I made, like, without people even having a full understanding of why I made the choice that I made. They hate me so much that people are just making like rumors up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just to try to make me look bad. I'm like, yo, it's bad out here, man. I'm like, because that's like saying somebody snitched without viewing paperwork on them, or without nobody being able to produce any paperwork. In the hood, it don't go like that. You can't just call somebody a snitch without seeing the paperwork. You have to have sufficient evidence to support that specific claim, you know what I mean? And that's the same with this shit. If you don't have any type of footage to back up what you're saying, nigga, the likeness of that happening or that being true, come on, man. Like, this has zero credibility. You know what I'm saying? And you also have to think about who is this information coming from, right? If something like that ever took place, man, best believe somebody would have some footage, and that footage would have been leaked out because niggas was trying to tarnish my name and tarnish my image at that time, and that would have definitely did that. But again, I will tell people this. I'm not the toughest nigga in the world. I never said I was the most gangster nigga in the world. I never portrayed myself to be the most gangster or none of that type of shit. But if that did happen, y'all wouldn't have never heard no more rap songs from a J Hood because I would have been locked up. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't even about rap at that point. You fucking with somebody's livelihood. And if a nigga had done that to me, I would have definitely had to get some get back, and I would have got locked up for that get back. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. So I always just kind of laugh that off. I'm like, damn, motherfuckers is lying on me like that. Shit crazy. Okay, so now we got to speak about something that's a little bit different from the two rumors I just spoke on before, right? This is when I realized, I'm like, oh man, now I don't know if I want to even be involved in this back and forth type of thing with these guys, or even wanting to be quote unquote beefing with these guys anymore, because my whole thing was, in my mind, this is where I was naive at, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, people are going to respect the truth, and they're going to respect the fact that I'm being honest. So people with common sense is going to hear what I'm saying, and they're going to see the legitimacy in it and be like, you know what, nah, he's speaking the truth. So, you know, they're not going to feel a certain way. But that's why I was wrong at, because what I had to realize is that people don't care about truth. You know, they want to continue to believe whatever narratives that they have in their mind about their persons, or about their favorite rappers. Whatever image that they have created in their mind about their favorite rappers, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's always going to be. They don't want to hear anything that destroys that illusion or makes them feel like they're not right about that person, because when people think about their favorite entertainers and rappers, they look at them sort of like superheroes, you know what I'm saying? And they put them in a box where they can't do any wrong, you know what I'm saying? And people are incapable of looking at these people in a different light, right? So my mistake was thinking that truth was going to, you know, allow me to be victorious in that situation, and I was completely wrong, because you know, there's no rules in war. So the tactics that people were using, you know, were you know, at the time, some grimy tactics, right? Now, Sheik had made a statement, and I think it was like a S.E.L.F interview or something like that. He said something that could have been taken a lot of different ways, and it was totally taken out of context when people heard this. And I knew exactly why he said what he said and why he said it the way that he said it, because it was like the way he worded it. It's all about the way he worded it. Now, when you're an artist coming up at a label, they don't really have this, you know, in the industry now. You have artist development. When you're going through artist development, they teach you about word and wording and being able to manipulate the media, and they teach you about wordplay and shit like that. Now, what he did was play on his words in this interview, in the statement that he made about, I don't know why he's singling me out, because I was the one who stepped up when his stepfather was touching on his body. Now, to the average person, when they hear something like that, they're going to automatically associate that with some type of, you know, funny type of stuff, or some type of molestation type of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Automatically, just by hearing that. Now, before I even get into that, what he was referring to was the fact that I used to have actual fist fights with my mother's ex-husband at the time. And I used to come back to the block with like little scars on my arms and shit from fighting a grown man. You feel what I'm saying? Like, in my crib. So there's one particular time I came to the block, little scratches on my shit. They're like, what the hell happened? I'm like, yo, I was fighting this nigga. Like, nah, man. They're like, what? So him, the big homie Cousin Styles, and the other big homie, Black Golf, shout out to them. They could contest to this also. They all got in a whip. We went to my crib, and they was about to wash this nigga up. You know what I'm saying? Like for fighting a kid. You know, but my mom stepped in front of the nigga when he answered the door. She stepped in front of him and saved the nigga. So they didn't get to fuck him up. But they went to the crib to beat the nigga up. It wasn't no other shit going on. It was because we was fighting and all that. But the way he worded it was done purposely. You know what I mean? He said what he said the way he said it because he knew it could be taken out of context. And he knew when people hear that, they're going to like try to make fun out of it and be like, oh, this nigga got touched, this nigga da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? And because he was trying to, and it's all love now, but you have to understand, he was trying to tarnish my name, fuck my image up, fuck my credibility up, and, you know, anything that had to do with me, he was trying to discredit me. You know what I'm saying? So that's one way to do that. Okay, so what you have to look at with that is, okay, let's just say, speak hypothetically. Let's say if that was true, which it wasn't, because I just explained to you what the situation was. Let's say if that was true though, right? How would that be funny? Or why would you want to speak on something like that when it's really people that experience that out here, like on some real shit? They going through that right now. You know what I mean? Being molested and shit like that. It's people that actually had to go through them unfortunate situations and shit like that. So that was kind of like insensitive. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't nothing to play with, man. You feel me? Like, motherfuckers really go through that shit. So I'm like, you know what? When I heard him say that, man, I just started laughing. I'm like, yo, that shit crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, motherfucker, like I said, the average person's not going to be able to like listen to what he said and decipher it because they're going to automatically think some funny shit going on. And that's what they did. I heard all type of rumors, yo, stepfather was touching them and all that. I'm like, man, please, man. Y'all niggas don't have no common sense. And like they say, common sense isn't common. You know, so that didn't surprise me at all, one bit, right? But that's like, that right there let me know, right? I'm like, you know, I mean, aside from just coming to the realization that this shit wasn't making any sense anyway, as far as like me beefing with them, I'm like, this shit whack anyway. But that really affected me. I'm like, damn, motherfuckers trying to like really fuck my name up like that by lying on me. This shit is crazy, man. So that kind of made me not even want to engage in, you know, the war of words with them anymore. And as far as the diss videos go, you know, at this point of my life, and this has nothing to do with where I'm at in my career, nothing like that. It's just me, period. I really wish that I could erase every diss video that I ever did from the internet. Like, because I look at this shit now, you ever did something, you just look at it like as you're older and be like, that's what I do now every time I see one of them diss videos. I'm like, because it was so stupid, you know what I mean? The place that I was at mentally back then, I was on some get back shit, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, these motherfuckers don't want to let me on my contract, so I got to get back at them. I'm really thinking I'm affecting them by, you know, making diss tracks and spitting truth and doing all this shit, but in all actuality, I wasn't doing any of that. You know what I'm saying? I was just adding fuel to the fire, man. Had a couple of people around me. Some was sincere and some was just really riding with me to ride with me because I really fucked with them. And then I had others around me because, like I said, during that time period, I was reading The Art of War. And, you know, anybody that knows anything about war for real, you have to, and anybody that plays chess, you have to have pawns around you. You know, you have to be able to move these pawns on the chessboard. You know, you're going to have casualties of war. You got to, if you're a general, you have to have soldiers. You're going to have a couple crash dummies, and you're going to have to know who these people are. Like I said, now I had some real soldiers, some knights around me. You know what I'm saying? I had some bishops around me, and I had some pawns around me. You dig? So I used the pawns accordingly, and I used the bishops and the knights accordingly. So when I did a few of these diss videos, I put a pawn on a few of them, and I had a bishop around me in a few of them. And I wish I didn't do them shits, and I wish I could take them down now, but I can't. Unfortunately, the person that shot those videos, he passed away recently and shit. So, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, that whole period only lasted about 6 months. And I was around a couple people for 6 months, which is literally 2 seasons. After that, I kind of cut ties with a lot of people because I realized these people meant me no good and I couldn't grow around these people and they didn't contribute anything positive to my life. So, you know, it's a such thing as outgrowing motherfuckers. So I realized I was outgrowing people. So a lot of people had to stay exactly where they was, and I didn't have no real relationship with them anyway. So it wasn't that hard to do that. And the people that was genuine to me, I maintained a relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? But as far as those diss videos, like I said, I wish I could take them down. I don't even look at them now. And even to this day, even with everything that went on, even with everything that you guys know and everything that you guys don't know, it is what it is, man. I still, you know, respect and love these niggas. You feel me? Like, regardless of how wrong they were, regardless of how wrong I was, it's still love because that's the person that I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm just an honest person, you know. I will continue to tell you guys that, and because that's what it is. That's the truth, man. I may be a lot of things, but I'm not a liar. I don't exaggerate my stories. I don't fabricate anything. I don't care about what people think about me or none of that type of shit. You looking at someone that actually watched their mother take their last breath. You know what I'm saying? I watched my moms die. Like, I was there face to face holding her hand. Like, after that, I didn't care about anything. There's nothing nobody can ever say to me to make me feel any way. There's nothing nobody can say to me to make me want to hide my truth or to do anything like that. So anything that you hear me say, please believe that it's exactly that, you know? And I'm not afraid to speak about anything. If anything ever happened to me, I talk about it. I'm not the toughest nigga in the world. I took L's before. I took a few L's. In order to fully appreciate a win, you have to take a few L's. So if I ever took an L, like, believe me, I'll never be scared to talk about it. And in this series, you're going to hear about me speaking about a couple of those L's that I took. But as far as the things that I just named during this episode, those things never happened. So I just wanted to put that out there to clear that up because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys been hearing a lot of shit through the years. And hopefully, you know, that gave you guys, you all a little bit of clarity. You feel me? So until next time, like always, salute. Tales from the Hood.